discuss with everyone my history with PCOS. Like, what is actually motivating me to make these videos? Well, firstly, just understand that whenever I make a video, it's because I genuinely want to help you. I want you to understand that there are solutions. And it's like the things that I'm talking about, when you try to read up on them, it's so hard to find the right information to get better. Like, there's such contradictory information. But you have to understand there's one thing that you can trust. You can trust the reactions of your body. If your body is reacting to something in a way that it does not like, it will let itself be known. It is up to you to make the change. So, like for instance, if I'm breaking out after eating something, guess what? That's not only going to cause me to break out, that's also going to cause me to have probably like problems on the inside as well. I could potentially get cancer. I see me breaking out, but guess what? That's going to lead to other stuff too. All right? You have to be careful. Don't think that breaking out is the only symptom, because that's the only symptom you see. There can be others. So, and that's what I was thinking about all throughout the time that I was breaking out. Because when I was younger, like, I don't know, 15, 16, 17 years old, I didn't have any PCOS symptoms. I had clear skin, no mood changes. I never had to deal with just like paranoia or depression. Never had to deal with any of that stuff. I had started getting cramps like a year later. All the like excess hair on my face, disgusting. Who wants to deal with that, right? Just all of this nonsense that I had to put up with. And I was like, just suddenly my body is changing, and I wanted to know why. What was causing my body to change? There had to be an answer, but I just could not figure it out. So when I was around 23 years old, there was something life-changing, that happened to me that made me understand that I had to figure out what was happening fast, otherwise something more could go wrong. So when I was 23, I had to have surgery to have an endometrioma removed. So this was not just like a small little thing. This was the size of like a soccer ball. I mean, it was huge. So all that time I was eating, I thought I was just gaining weight, but no, I was actually like growing like a tumor inside of my body. And I had to figure out why very quickly. Otherwise, who knows what it could lead to? If I didn't change my ways, who knows what it could lead to? Even though having this surgery was absolutely horrible, it was scarring, literally and figuratively. It was scarring. So even though I had to have the surgery, it also helped me to understand the root of everything that was happening to me. So if I never had this surgery, then I would never have figured out what ingredients I was eating, what sensitivities I had that had basically caused me to develop that endometrioma, that caused me to get that acne, that caused me to get all those other PCOS symptoms that I was getting. So all because of the surgery, I was finally able to start healing myself. So at the age of 21, I had turned vegan. So this was before I got the endometrioma. So the reason why I went vegan is because I wanted to have clear skin. And I was like, maybe meat is doing this to me, right? So since I thought, I thought meat was making me not have clear skin, I went ahead and went vegan. It means I was eating raw fruit and raw vegetables, essentially, for the most part. And guess what? That was the very first time my skin finally got clearer. Finally, I didn't suffer from cramps. Finally, I was like feeling good. Even with my mood, I was feeling great. So finally, because I had went raw vegan, I was able to feel better. However, guess what? I didn't stay raw vegan. It's really hard to stay raw vegan when you're just eating raw fruits and vegetables the whole time. So here I am. I'm incorporating tons of canned goods every day, with beans or tomatoes that I'm considering to be healthy, which weren't really, in hindsight, idiot. But I was eating all those canned goods. I was incorporating processed foods like the vegan chicken nuggets, vegan chicken patties, all of these vegan processed foods that had horrible ingredients in them. I was eating, all of these so-called vegan foods, but guess what? It was never the foods being vegan in the first place. I mean, yeah, I'm glad I went vegan for a bit, for like 3 years actually, but it was never me going vegan that caused all my problems, because very soon after I started, not being raw vegan, I ate the processed foods, the canned goods, all the other horrible ingredients I started incorporating into my diet. Once I started eating those again, my face came back, my acne, my mood swings, my cramps, like all of the PCOS symptoms came back in full blast. And it wasn't because of the meat, it was because of the endocrine disrupting ingredients. And I would have never figured that out if not for that endometrioma that I had developed later. Because all throughout that time, I saw my stomach growing. Every time I had another canned good, I saw the endometrioma get bigger. I just didn't understand. I really just did not understand what was happening. I didn't know that was an endometrioma. I just thought I was getting fatter. But now I know I wasn't getting fatter. I was just developing an endometrioma. And every time I ate a canned good, every time I ate those endocrine disrupting ingredients, it was getting worse. Specifically with the canned goods, to be quite honest, BPA. But that's basically what it was. And I was like, wow, all this time. And keep in mind, at that time, when I had the endometrioma, I didn't even know about BPA. I just knew it was the canned goods that was causing me to get the endometrioma. I didn't know about BPA yet. It's not until I looked into what was in canned goods, and then I saw all these articles about BPA being in the lining of cans, that was like, and how they're being endocrine disruptors, that I was like, no wonder I was having these canned goods. I mean, not every day, but I was having them very often because they were just, a convenient, cheap alternative. I was a college student, couldn't afford a whole lot of expensive food. So it just so happens that, guess what? That was the root cause of everything. And I finally understood that after receiving that surgery, after having that endometrioma. I could look back and understand what the root cause of everything was. And so not only did I look into, the BPA, which was a huge endocrine disrupting chemical ingredient, I was like, this is the one, endocrine disrupting ingredient. Are there others that are just like it? And so I looked up even more, and then I took them all out of my diet. Then I gradually reintroduced them back into my diet, saw if they had any effect. If they had effect, then guess what? I would throw them back out of my diet. If they didn't affect me, I'd be like, well, it doesn't look like I'm affected, and I still eat them, you know what I mean? So, however, I just say, like, man, if that had never happened, if I never had that experience, then I would still be suffering today, probably, unless I figured out another way. But man, that was some real world experiences right there that really made me change completely in what I eat, that I exercise, just how I take care of myself. I realized how important it was. And it's not like I never tried to take care of myself. I just didn't know how. I didn't know what the right thing, the right way to take care of myself was. I thought, I never expected, that all of what I was doing wasn't the right thing. Now I know that, I need a diet high in fruits and vegetables, yeah, but also I need to not eat any endocrine disrupting ingredients, which I talk about in my videos of how to get clear skin. Avoid those ingredients, because not only does it help you get clear skin, It also helps you with any other PCOS symptoms you may have, all right? So it's important that you guys watch those. Keep in mind, the moment I started eating those endocrine disrupting ingredients again, just to double check like 100 times, because who wants to give up chocolate milkshakes? Guess what? All of my PCOS symptoms come back. But once those endocrine disrupting ingredients are gone, all my PCOS symptoms leave again. It is not a coincidence that this is happening, and don't take my word for it. Try it out for yourself. Just try it for 2 weeks and you'll see a tremendous improvement. You just have to try it for 2 weeks. Now, some people would say that this is, extreme to avoid all these ingredients, because keep in mind, guys, these ingredients are in a lot of stuff. But isn't it more extreme to continue to eat something, to consume something that is negatively affecting you in such an adverse way? Isn't it crazy? It's like saying, oh yeah, I know these cigarettes are going to give me lung cancer, but I'm just going to avoid them, oh, my bad, I'm going to keep having them anyways. So it doesn't make sense to me. It's the same logic. I know to you it may not be, but it really is, especially if you take them out of your diet and you realize that the PCOS symptoms go away. Like, again, don't take my word for it. Just do it yourself. Prove it to yourself. If your PCOS symptoms don't improve within 2 weeks, then you're just like, okay, well, that wasn't it. But wouldn't you be insane to continue eating those things if you did see an improvement by avoiding those ingredients? And then isn't it extreme to continue having those items anyway? I don't know. I think that anything that is like nothing tastes that good, to me at least. Like, there are plenty of other things that taste even better. Your taste buds will adapt. They change depending on what you eat. And then guess what? Once you stay away from those foods, if you try to go back, they're going to taste nasty. They don't taste good to me anymore. Like, all I taste are those ingredients. If I try to eat things with those ingredients in them, all I taste are the ingredients. There's like sharp taste and aftertaste, and it's so disgusting. You're not even gonna like them anymore because they're nasty. All right. So again, some people may say me avoiding all those ingredients is extreme, but I would say not avoiding those ingredients after you know that you can get better by avoiding them and you continue to eat them. Now that to me is extreme. Okay. I've been told that I was extreme for this, so I just want to clarify. All right, guys, so this is the way I feel about endocrine disruptors. This is my story, and this is why I feel the way I do. Because all those endocrine disruptors cause me so much misery, and I wish someone had told me what I could have done to feel better. Because, I don't know, maybe even if somebody told me, I wouldn't have listened to them. Maybe you have to hit rock bottom before you change, before you decide enough is enough. Maybe everyone just has to hit rock bottom. But I want to say that at least I tried, At least I tried to tell you why it's important to avoid these ingredients. I wish someone at least had tried to tell me. I feel like I would have listened. Who knows? Maybe I would have, maybe I wouldn't have. But at least I would have been told, right? And so that's what I wish to do for you. And that's why I'm putting out these videos, is because I know I wish someone would have told me about these things. And overall, my advice to you is don't wait for the extreme situation to occur. Change now. Eat healthier. Exercise. Just, go outside every day and get some sunlight, get some good vitamin D on your skin. Talk to people, socialize, develop healthy relationships. Not where you're using each other, but just where you can enjoy each other's company. Listen to nice music. Just have fun sometimes, work hard throughout your daily life. Avoid endocrine disrupting ingredients. All right, so that's my video about how I went through what I went through, what my history with PCOS is, and how I finally was able to not suffer from PCOS anymore. And I really feel like it has helped me just by avoiding these ingredients. I have been helped. Now, in my next video, I'm going to talk about just the mood disorders that can arise from PCOS. So I'm really going to get into the nitty-gritty of what's going on with the mood disorder. So stay tuned and follow this 3-episode series about mood disorders coming up here next. All right.